Hey everyone, I'm Veronica, the founder of North Star Senior Advisors, and I'm excited because today I get to spend some time with Marcia Miller. She's one of my favorite individuals who I have been working with for, gosh, how long now? 5+ years?
6 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She owns one of my favorite adult family care homes, so we get to talk a little bit about her home and why she opened her home. And I just wanted to start with, can you tell me about an adult family care home? Because that's what you own, Serenity Adult Family Care Homes. Tell me a little bit about what an adult family care home is.
So the primary difference between an adult family care home and, let's say, an assisted living in a residential setting is I, the owner, live here. We pretty much can do the same kinds of care, whether someone has, early onset dementia, they're seniors, doesn't require anything too complex. We can all do it, but we as the owners must live here, and we're capped at only 5 residents. So that makes it even more intimate, if that makes sense.
That's awesome. And so are you regulated by the state just like an assisted living?
You most certainly do have to go through hoops with the Agency for Healthcare Administration. And every 2 years, our biennial surveys are done. So yes, we have to comply with all state regulations.
That's awesome. And so the fact that you live there, you are also hands-on. Do you have a caregiver that stays with you?
So I would recommend anybody that's doing this business seriously, don't do it by yourself. You need help if you're going to provide the quality care. So I have 2 members on my care team, one that works during the week and another one that does every other weekend. But I am still in the trenches on the off weekends. And this way I get to really see, even though I live here, I'm busy with other stuff when team is on deck. But then when I'm on deck with them this week, like this weekend is my weekend to work. I get to see everything.
And what made you decide to open an adult family care home? Because that would be difficult. You live where you work. So tell me what made you do this.
So my Aunt Dorothy was my wife. I was a caregiver for about 7 years for my Aunt Dorothy. And for a long time, she was great. I could go to work. I could leave her home. And then, of course, then came the phone calls. And the phone calls were more and more distressing as she began to decline. And so I had to place her in a community. And while it was a community that had less than 70 beds, if memory serves me correct, there just was not enough staffing. And the things that they offered our family, we wanted more. Something as simple, Veronica, as getting a bath every day, that was not available. It was going to be twice a week, 3 if you're lucky. And quite frankly, she was a registered nurse for over 30 years. We just really wanted more care. And so I started looking at the different models, and boom, here we go, a private home community.
I remember meeting you, and back then I was working in an assisted living facility, and you had walked in with your aunt to consider it. And then I remember you pulled me aside and you said, I'm thinking about doing this for myself. And then sure enough, you did, and you do amazing at it. And
Thank you.
Saying it because we're talking, but you really do amazing. And whenever I know you have a bed available for a nice little lady, I'm always calling you. But I like to match it because you have like a family. You have a family.
And I think what I appreciate about your company is that you are probably one of 2 that I can think of that took the time out to come and understand my community, asking questions. Who do you want to serve? And not just bring me everybody, but understood our price point. And over the years, let's see, I'm in business 6 years. You have brought me 4 clients that have called this place home. And I still have one of them today.
Yes,
this is their forever home.
Oh, yes. And I'm so happy when the families give me feedback. Like, Marcia is amazing. And, sometimes when I'm, doing some consultations with some families, they'll tell me my loved one wants this large facility. And when I get some feedback, well, tell me about mom. Tell me why you think she needs a large facility. And they'll say, oh, because, they'll say she needs the chef. When I find out that she's probably confused, she's never been social, and she gets lost easy, I always try to I don't know what the word is, redirect families to smaller homes. And yes. Once they tour your home, they're always like, Marcia is the one. It's an easy sell once they come into your home because you make it a welcoming feeling.
Thank you. Thank you.
You sit with them and you learn their story and you give a tour and you let them talk to the ladies, because you have a family of ladies and it's just amazing. I love spending time with them as well.
Thank you. Thank you. And you know what it is too? I think the fact that we share a shared commonality, because I've been there, done that. I get it. I've walked in their shoes. It's a very, very difficult decision when you have to place a loved one. I mean, honestly, Veronica, when I placed my auntie, I sat in the parking lot and cried.
Yeah.
Even though I know and our family knew it was the right decision, it was a heart-wrenching decision. I sat there and cried for about a good 10 minutes before I went on my merry way. And it took her a long time to get used to that idea, but we were still not happy. And so, you know, when I started, I just sprung her, brought her home, and I got to keep her for another, 2 or 3 years before she went on to glory. So no regrets.
Oh, no, that's awesome. And so if you could describe, because say our listeners or our viewers want to know what an adult family care home or residential assisted living is like, can you describe your day-to-day and your amenities and your activities and things like that? Because most people think of a large facility and they want the chef and they want the activities and all that. Can you describe how you can also include that in a smaller home?
I will say this, I like to think of myself as, yes, we are small, but we provide big service. And so honestly, we have all the games that they could ever want, but we tailor it to what the resident enjoys. It doesn't make sense that we have bingo and they don't like it. And I tell you, the ladies that I serve, not one of them like bingo. What they enjoy is dominoes, and they enjoy Monopoly, and they have Scrabble. And so pretty much every day they get to pick what they want to play during their, activity time. And usually on Fridays is my day with them. So at least pre-COVID.
Yeah.
So pre-COVID, they look forward to fun Fridays. And honestly, we have done everything from blueberry picking up in Lake County. We've gone to Cocoa Beach. We've gone to the Butterfly Garden. We've gone the swan boat at Lake Eola. And they're active. And as long as they're active, why not engage them in fun things? So we have lunch out. We do those fun activities. And when it comes to service, the same kinds of things you get in the large communities. Our doctor comes in every single month, right? Our medications are delivered every single month. So you're not missing anything. If they go to the hospital and come back and they need PTOT, we get partnered with a physical therapist or a home health company, and they come on site. We have our eye doctor that comes on site. So you're really not missing anything. And they don't have to go sit in somebody's waiting room for the
Yes, exactly. And how is it paid? Because I get calls from family members that say, my loved one has whatever health insurance. Can you tell me how to pay for an adult family care home or residential?
So pretty much the same way an assisted living gets paid. Most of it is private pay. That's the reality. So I tell everyone out there, Social Security is not the strategy you want to use to pay for long-term care. You've got to start planning from now. So yes, your Social Security, combination of your savings. If you qualify for Medicaid, that can help with a small portion of it, but that's just it, a small portion. And so families have to really be prepared. I've had families where sisters came together and everybody contributed a bit. So the burden is not on one person. When my auntie was in the community, her Social Security, just being transparent, was only $1,500. Well, at the time, the rate was $2,500, but she qualified based on her ADLs for Medicaid, and they were able to bill for the rest. So that's kind of how it worked.
That's awesome. And that is helpful, definitely. And let's talk about how you're handling everything with, you mentioned COVID, pre-COVID activities and things like that. How are you handling visitation, if you are allowing that, and activities now that we are in a strict quarantine type environment?
I know, right? It's scary. So on the plus side, guys, think about an adult family care home or an ALF in a residential setting. we get to make decisions immediately. We do not have to wait for corporate to tell us what to do. So March 1st, when I saw what was going on in February, I reached out to my families. And I said, this is what I'm going to recommend. We're going to quarantine right now. And we're going to do that so the ladies are safe. And they were on board. I didn't have to twist any arms. I said, we're just going to do that. I'm going to minimize when I go out to just maybe grocery stores and what have you. So since March, they have been on complete quarantine. They have not left the building. Now, we Skype, we Zoom, we do all those things so they stay connected. They call. About a week ago, it was so funny. One of the residents, but she's since passed on, her grandkids came and stood on the outside of the window. You remember Mama Lola?
Oh, yeah.
The grandkids came and stood on the outside of the window and danced.
Oh,
ladies. So we all piled into one room and they were just antics. And yeah, we do what we have to do. You know, it's not forever. Let's just keep each other safe.
Absolutely.
So that's what we've been doing. In terms of activities, let me tell you, I'm running out of ideas though.
Me too. Yes.
You know, just so much you can do, so many games you can play.
I see you on Facebook. I follow you and I see how active your ladies are. So definitely.
So what I'm doing is like I buy stuff. Like the other day I bought this, do you remember Cold Stone Creamery?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so there was like a miniature version of that thing to make ice cream. So that became an activity. So me and Amazon are best friends.
That's awesome. And I'm sure they enjoy just anything, you know.
Anything. Yeah. Just conversation, you know.
And they're like a family. So you said you can have a maximum of 5. So there's you and 5 ladies. And how would you describe what the day-to-day, like I know that in a large facility, they have they're kind of like on a schedule if there's like a shower schedule and things like that. But how would you're more like a family. You sit together and you have breakfast and all your meals.
Pretty much.
Together.
We do have a schedule. And so pretty much because they go to bed so early, they go to bed around, like now, they're gone to bed. Awesome. And by 7 o'clock, everybody's up. And by 9 o'clock, everybody's at the breakfast table and we're having breakfast conversation and they're eating. And, you know, then after that, they have their downtime. So I'm taking a little after breakfast nap. My other lady, she loves gardening, so she goes outside. And when I go out, I'll bring her extra dirt and extra plants, and she has fun in her garden. And another lady, she just likes to just watch TV. She has her favorite show. So they do what they enjoy. And snack time comes around, get snacks, they play games around snack time. Lunch time is at 1. They have a real heavy lunch. I still cook.
Yep.
And so they enjoy a nice hearty meal. And then, you know, that's kind of the day.
That's awesome. And who's a good fit for someone who is, if you could tell a family about why an assisted living, residential, or adult family care home is good for their loved one, how would you describe a good prospect or resident for your home?
Okay, so let me use my own family as a classic example because Dorothy's sisters, 2 of them are still alive. One's 90-something, one's 80-something. Both live in New York, right? The 80-something-year-old is my social butterfly. She needs to see everybody. We go to the grocery store in New York. Hey, she don't know you from a can of paint, but she's my social butterfly. She needs a large community. She would not do well in a small community because she would be bored.
Right. Okay.
When she went in for surgery, knee surgery, and we went to visit, we couldn't find her. She was down the hall playing bingo. So that tells you, right? The other one, conversely, just give her TV, her sports channel, and a remote. She's one happy camper. She would be very well, situate very well in a private home setting. So if you have the outgoing, gregarious personality, this may not work. If you have someone that has behavior issues, this may not work because it will upset the whole household. But if your person is a little confused, you don't want them in a large community. It'll get worse.
That makes a lot of sense. And I know in the past, I had referred a little lady to you who was in a large community. And when I met with the family and I did the consultation, they were looking for a large memory care. And I said, honestly, she didn't do well in the large community. She's going to do much better in a smaller environment where Marcia can work with this person, because she was not only confused, she needed some medication management just to be calm. And I think your home is in a calm setting. She had less distraction. So I definitely think it worked.
It worked.
Definitely worked. And then would you recommend others to open an adult family care home or an assisted living facility? I
would say if you have one reason, and you have to look at your why. If your why is centered around money, please don't do it. Please don't. Do us a favor. Don't do it. But if your why is centered around care, if your why is centered around making a difference in another senior, if your why is something like that, you would make an excellent provider.
Absolutely.
But if you start looking at money, I tell everybody, if money is your why, the day that your staff doesn't come up, the day that you have a hurricane, emergency preparedness and staff says, I'm not coming in, and you are on deck, you're going to get your feelings hurt if you don't like seniors.
Oh, absolutely. And I meet a lot of ALF and adult family care home owners, and that's one of the first questions before I consider partnering with them. Why are you doing this? And if I hear, oh, it's an investment opportunity or it's my retirement, that's a red flag for me, because I am moving someone's loved one into your home, and I don't want to hear that first. So I always tell them, not a retirement at all.
Yeah. I'm still working, so clearly it's not retirement. And I don't want to make it sound as if, you're not being able to be sustainable and take care of yourself and your family. You are, but that cannot be your why.
Exactly.
It cannot. Because when your resident has behavior issues and they get fussy and just don't want to cooperate, you have to have something on the inside. And honestly, this is more ministry than it is anything else.
Absolutely. And so, Marcia, I know you're full because you are amazing, so you have no availability now, but if you want to tell our viewers how they can find you, or if you have a website, please let us know.
Sure. So our website is safecompassionatecare.com. And I can be emailed at safecompassionatecare@gmail.com. And the Safe Compassionate Care is really a direct reflect of our mission. We provide safe, compassionate care that makes their hearts smile.
That's awesome. And Marcia, I want to just thank you for everything you do, for not only for the seniors in the community, but for your competition. Also, you help others that are also doing adult family care homes and assisted living residential, and you just help everybody in the community. And I admire that. We've worked together.
Thank you.
And just thank you so much for taking the time.
Oh, I enjoyed it. You are one of my favorite people. Love, love, love North Star Senior Advisors. And I recommend everybody.
And I appreciate it. And I hope you stay safe, you and your ladies, during this pandemic, and we'll get through this together.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Have a great one, love.